It's Brian here. Today I'm coming on to do a brand ambassador tutorial type tryout for Graphic 45. And as you may know, Graphic 45 is a leading papercraft company here in America and around the world. And they like to have their papers like in a vintage look and everything, which I think is really totally awesome. And today what I'm going to do is make a stationery box from one sheet of 8.5 by 11 cardstock and just a couple other scraps, basically. So let's get started on this. The first thing what you're going to need to do is, actually you're going to need a scoreboard. These are going to be tools you need here. Scoreboard, a paper trimmer, a bone folder, double-sided tape, scissors, X-Acto knife, or your choice of cutting tool, and a pen or pencil. And I'm going to give you all the measurements here real quick of the pieces of cardstock we need. One will be 8.5 inches by 11 inches. One is going to be 12 inches wide by 2.5 inches tall. And one needs to be 2 inches tall by 12 inches wide. And then I'm just going to have this as a stand-in for a moment because I'm going to try to find a scrap, hopefully by the end of me filming this video, to show y'all how this is going to look. And this is going to be Christmas themed. So I hope you all enjoy this, even though it's only early April. I'm already getting started on Christmas stuff this year. So I'll be right back and I'm going to show you how to make this. Alright, so I'm back. What we're going to want to do now is score our 8.5 by 11 sheet of cardstock on the back side, pattern facing down onto the scoreboard at 1 3/4 inches. And then you can score again at 6 3/4 inches, or just flip it 180 degrees and score again here at 1 3/4 inches. And now we're going to flip this a quarter turn and score on the 11-inch side at 6 inches and 7 3/4 inches. And now we're done for the scoreboard for at least a moment. So I'm going to take my finger blade now. I'm going to go ahead and just cut to that first score line there. On both pieces there. Then cut at an angle, or a little relief cut, so it won't be so bulky when you go ahead and glue everything together. Do the same thing on the opposite side, to that first score line only. And now what you want to do is go ahead, and I forgot about this part just a moment ago. And get that scoreboard out again. And we're going to go ahead on the 11-inch side, make a little pen mark on 2.5 inches, just so you can barely see it. And then flip it to the opposite side, so the front's now facing, and do the same thing on that side. On the other side there at 2.5 inches, so you can barely see it. That's about the easiest way I could figure out to do this. You could flip it to this side, and figure out 2.5 inches from 11 inches, but what fun would that be? So So now I'm going to bring out my trimmer. I'm going to go ahead and find my mark, which is right here, and find my score line, which is right here. I'll go ahead and cut like so. Toss that. And I'm going to do the same thing on the other side. Find my score line here, and then my pen mark at 2.5 inches. And then cut diagonally. So now what I want to do is fold all score lines. You don't absolutely have to burnish this down if you don't want to. But I mean, it would be suggested, I guess. If you wanted to, you could, definitely. Then I'm going to burnish these, I think. I'm going to go ahead and do this real quick. I see there that I got a little bit too much off on that end, on the diagonal line, but I'm sure it'll be okay. There are no mistakes in crafting, only happy accidents, y'all. Okay, so what you want to do now is, oh, maybe it's because I didn't score. I mean, not score. Didn't fold it quite right. That's better. That's not so bad. Now you're going to want to get some glue, tacky glue, reptile adhesive, art glitter glue, whatever you want. Barely art glue even would work. Just any kind of liquid glue, white glue would work. And go ahead and let me get my push pin out and clean out this tip here. Put it back. And now what we're going to do is going to glue on this side here, on the printed side, on both of these flaps, put glue on. We're going to take the back part, which is the back part, of course, will be the longer part of the 11-inch side. So put it up like so. We're going to go ahead and glue that onto here. And make sure it's good with the bottom here. We don't want it to be too high or too low on this bottom part here. We don't need that to happen. Now get my Cricut scraper here. Oops, I just did that. Okay, well, put too much glue on. I think that's what the problem is. And now this side, gotta do the same thing. Make sure you're matching up on here. There's no white showing, or if it's, don't want too high or too low over there. I definitely put way too much glue on here. Grab a paper towel and do that real quick. And I'm doing that now on this side too, which I don't want to happen. Okay, there we go. That should be good. And now what we're going to do is go ahead and glue these side flaps onto here. But first I'm going to go ahead and get the paper towel out again and just do a little more work on this. Make sure I'm not too high or too low on the outside here. It did raise up some. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is go ahead and glue on the white part here. And I'm going to go ahead and put this on the outside. Gonna make sure that I got a good clean connection with the bottom here. That's going to be important. And make sure also that you got a good connection here. It can be achieved. There we go. I think that's good. Gonna burnish it down a little bit. Get that off. And do the same thing onto the other side. Go ahead and put that on. Make sure everything looks good. It's a little too high there. So we're going to want to make sure that's level and even. This glue's giving me problems right now. I'm sorry, y'all. There we go. Got a pretty nice line here. Pretty nice connection here and here. And also here and here. That's what we want. So now what we're going to go ahead and do is get our 2.5 by 12 inch piece cardstock and 2.5 by 12 inch piece cardstock and a 2 by 12 inch piece. And we're going to go ahead and get some double-sided tape here real quick and put this on this 2-inch part on the back of it. Put maybe like 3 or 4 strips. Oops, that wasn't quite right. There we go. Go ahead and cut that little excess off there. Now I'm going to go ahead and burnish this down with the Cricut scraper. Take the tape off. We're doing this first because it would be more difficult to put this 2.5 inch strip onto here, onto the box, and then do the same thing on with this. So I figured I'd make this as easy as possible for all skill levels. Now what I'm going to do is go ahead and put this on. Try to leave about a 1/4 inch on the top and the bottom. And I didn't quite get to the end there, but that's okay. We'll do something about that. In fact, it won't even show. You'll see why in just a moment. So I'm just going to go ahead here and cut off this little strip here. There we go. And now what we want to do is go ahead and score on the back part here. at 1 3/4 and 3.5 inches. This is going to make things that much easier for when we put this on around here. It's going to be like a belly band of sorts for decoration. So 1 3/4 again, and 3.5 again, after we flip it 180 degrees to the opposite side. So I'm going to go ahead and burnish this some. And do a test fit real quick. I am a little off apparently somewhere here. So I think what I'm going to do is, kind of off here. I'm going to go ahead and score again a little further, like maybe like 1 1/4, 1/2 inches here on this end. Nobody's going to see the fact that it's not going to meet up in the front, because it's not actually at all going to meet up in the front. So I'm going to go ahead and try this instead, see if that works. Okay, I'm going to try this again. We may have a winner here, almost. Tell you what, I think I'm going to make a 1/2. So instead of 1 3/4 inches at the first one, as first score on each side, why don't we just do 1/2 inches instead? That'll give a little extra room, wiggle room there. We're going to see how this works now. In my opinion, that works a lot better than it has been. So what I'm going to do right now is I'm going to go ahead and get some of this tape, put the box to the side for just a moment, put some tape on that middle part, and I'm going to also put tape on these two parts like so. You could just glue this down if you wanted to as well. But I thought this would probably make things quicker if I just went ahead and used double-sided tape. And it probably would be a lot easier to use just double-sided tape. So there won't be as much warping on this or on the box itself once the glue dries up. So what we're going to do now is go ahead and lay this on to here, like so. Now make sure we got it right where we want it, because this is a one-take thing here. I think I like it. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and burnish real well with the Cricut scraper the best I can. And now what I'm going to do is go ahead and take off the tape for the other, on this middle score, on this one from 1/2 to 3 3/4, I mean 3.5. I'm going to go put that on now, one by one. Burnish it down some. To the other side as well. Burnish it down some. And go ahead and put down the final part, which would be on the front of the box. I'm going to go ahead and flip that over and burnish that down too. So this is what we have thus far. We have the box made. We have the decorative band attached. Now what we want to do is get a little something to make it look even nicer, especially here where there's no belly band. So I had received a package from Susan Tootsie Tucker recently. She sent me these Project Life cards and ephemera. I'm going to go ahead and see what I can find in here. This might be nice. Let's know. It will be a little taller, but that might be good. Or we could do joy. Or something else. I tell you what, we're going to use this one, I think. Let's know. I like that a lot. So what we're going to do now is we're going to go ahead and put this up. And the ephemera. We won't need that at this time. Now I'm going to go ahead and glue this on. Probably just be easier at this point just to glue it on. So what I'm going to do is put this face down, and actually I'm going to turn it to the side here. Can match it up to the middle, going both ways. Make sure the bottom is flush. Now I'm going to burnish it down. Uh-oh, that happened. Glue's not liking me today. So I'm just going to firmly press on it real quick. Maybe now I can burnish it down a little bit while holding it. And there you go, you have a box. Now what you're going to want to do is find some cards. These would fit 4x6 with the 6-inch side going upwards, and A2 cards as well. They may or may not fit 5x7s as well. I'm going to try to find some cards here real quick. I had some. Don't know what happened to them. But basically you put as few or as many as you want in there. Probably about a dozen might fit in there. If I can find my cards, which I just did. Go ahead and see how many we can put in there. I'm not putting the envelopes in there right now. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and 12. You easily fit a dozen cards and envelopes in there. You could probably fit a bunch more than that even, but I'm not going to go that far. So I hope you enjoyed this tutorial, and go ahead, check out my channel if you haven't seen it before. Please do like, share, subscribe, ring the bell for all notifications if you like what you see. And hopefully I'll see y'all next time. Bye.